What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to be making this. Well, not this. This is already made. We're going to be making a rolling pin. So a good friend of mine over on Instagram, Luke over at Luke in the Garage, recently messaged me and begged me to collaborate with him. I mean, it was kind of embarrassing. I'm just kidding. Just giving Luke a hard time. Luke's a good guy. But he did want to collaborate. That part is true, and I wanted to collaborate with him. And so he made me this one-of-a-kind rolling pin blank. This blank is made out of maple and walnut, and it has my, what do you call it? Catchphrase on it. It has my catchphrase on it. Be good, be safe, be happy, and it is all engraved and filled with epoxy. This is gonna be a super interesting rolling pin, and I'm really excited to get to it, so let's just get going. So heading into this project, I needed to consider two things. One, hard maple is harder than walnut. Therefore, they will turn differently. Two, epoxy is not wood. Therefore, it is going to turn different than walnut and hard maple. Roughing out this rolling pin was pretty easy. It went just like you'd expect it. Where the trickiness came in was getting it down to its final shape and making sure that it was round and smooth. Carbide tip tools are clutch when it comes to turning with epoxy. They're great tools all around, but with epoxy, I will always recommend people use carbide tools. So I wasn't sure what to do with the handles. The last handles that I tried to make, I ended up scrapping and just making the rolling pin into a French style rolling pin. But I really wanted this chunky rolling pin to have handles. Luckily, I have one of my grandpa's rolling pins in my shop right now. And so I mimicked my handles after his. And I think that's pretty cool. This whole rolling pin is basically a copy of his, but obviously it has my own twist on it. So the biggest opportunity I had to learn with rolling pins was in the sanding. With walnut and maple being different hardsnesses, when you sand, they both sand differently, and you wouldn't think that it would be that big of a problem, but it is. If you're not careful with your sanding, you're gonna end up with a wonky rolling pin. So the trick that I found and that I was taught was to start at a higher grit around 120 and just go super light with your sanding. You want your piece to be mostly finished by the time you get to sanding, so that way you have to do as little sanding as possible. And I went ahead and sanded this bad boy up to 320, and I think that's a really good grit to stop at. I think it's going to keep a lot of food out of the grain, and it makes that epoxy look nice and shiny. Man, I'm having so much fun with rolling pins. This is my third one, and I think adding epoxy to the mix is just opening the gates to a whole lot of other opportunities. Make sure you guys swing by and follow my buddy Luke over at Luke in the Garage. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Be good, be safe, be happy, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.